I'm James Spann. This is the morning edition of the Weather Xtreme video for Tuesday, the 27th of July. Hot, muggy, unstable air. A few storms around later today. Had some big ones out there last night. Now let's look at the Skycam shots around the network this morning. We'll start with the Tuscaloosa Skycam. And what a storm out there about 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. 3 inches of rain, continuous lightning, flash flooding problems. Roads were closed. But things are calm this morning. There's the Birmingham Skycam. Had some pretty healthy storms around the city for a while last night. And over at Mount Cheahaw, beginning to see a little daylight there. But no doubt the days are certainly shorter than a month ago, as we are well past a month out now from the summer solstice. Here's the water vapor satellite shot. Of course, the upper ridge is around. The westerlies are up on the Canadian border. But a pretty good bit of moisture around. The precipitable water values are awfully high, almost 3 inches in spots. And we can thank Bonnie for that. The tropical storm that fizzled out in the Gulf, it sure brought a tremendous amount of higher humidity values up in here, helping to create these big rain amounts we're seeing. Here's a look at the NEXRAD storm totals from yesterday and last night. Again, you can see that little zone there from Tuscaloosa down to Clanton and Wetumpka that flared last night about 9 to 10 o'clock. And the heaviest rain up in northwest Alabama, western parts of Marion, Franklin, Colbert counties with 5 inches up there. But again, we had pockets with nothing. So if you missed the rain yesterday, you'll have a chance of getting some today. All the organized severe weather will be well to the north of us, although we note SPC does have a slight risk a little east of here. For parts of Georgia and the Carolinas, there's a synoptic surface boundary near Interstate 40, and there's some convergence near that, and could be a few storms with wet microburst, and we could see a few here as well, where the storms get their act together. Tomorrow, slight risk for Chicago and Detroit, and on Thursday, parts of the very high plains with a risk of severe weather. QPF chart, yeah. You know how it works. Tuscaloosa had 3 inches last night, so this thing can't really help you that much. This is kind of a smoothed value type thing for the next 5 days, valid through Saturday evening at 7. Higher totals over the north, lower totals down south, but with individual storms, you can get that much in 30 minutes with this kind of air mass. And the tropics, quiet as a mouse on this 27th of July. Check the GFS. This is the OZ run, valid at 1 o'clock today. The westerlies are on the Canadian border, where all the shortwave action is. Around here, the 594 heat ridge, centered a little east of the state. And down below that, a soupy air mass. So where the sun gets the air up into the mid-90s, the instability values will climb into the 2,000-3,000 joule category. We'll see more storms around. Not going to rain everywhere. But like recent days, the storms won't move much, and they'll produce a heck of a lot of lightning. And that's been a big problem. We've had 1 lightning death and many injuries in our state over the past 5 days from lightning. Don't mess with it. Tomorrow, the heat ridge expands and strengthens, so you think that the heat levels will inch up a little bit. Number of storms go down a little. But the good news, the soil moisture, the topsoil moisture is really good with all this rain here of late, so that should keep the heat from getting out of control. Same thing on Thursday. Friday, the heat ridge is shunted off to the west as a trough moves over the east coast. And there's some idea here that we just might have a surface boundary get all the way down south, and we dry out on Friday. Cold fronts just don't come through here that often at the end of July. But the GFS has been consistent in the idea of drier air on Friday. We'll probably start to lean that way. Dew points a little lower, humidity values a little lower. Saturday looking relatively dry. We're sure not going to take out the chance of an afternoon storm here, but it looks like Friday and Saturday could be relatively dry. Sunday, the moisture comes back, and that looks pretty standard for summer. And Monday of next week, heat bubble is around, and Tuesday gets stronger, but underneath that, a pretty good bit of moisture is trapped. Bottom line is fairly routine summer weather for the next 5 to 7 days. Hot, muggy, a few storms. And the coverage of the storms and the amount of heat all depends on temperatures aloft. Little minor variations can make a big difference in how many storms you see. We'll check the end of the forecast on the 11th of August. Ridging all across the deep south, winds aloft are light and variable, and that looks pretty routine. And interestingly enough, the GFS not showing any of its traditional bogus tropical systems out there at 15 days like we often see this time of the year. But you'd think the tropics might start to light up out there by mid-August. We'll see. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog, the next video here by 3:30 or so today. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.